What's up guys? So today I'm checking out the world's first modular Android handheld game console. So this is the GPD XP. Check that out guys. So this has to be the first modular game console I've ever come across. I'm very excited to show you what this can do. Now let's just place this on the side and see what else you get in the box. So your paperwork, and we've got some screen protectors as well. Type-C to Type-C cable. You're also getting a 20-watt power brick, Type-C connection, and here are your modular parts. So here are two different attachments that you get in the box. You can see on the side we've got magnets and your connections. So before checking out the attachments, let's have a closer look at the console and buttons. So we've got a joystick, and yes, it is clickable. We've got a D-pad. We've got a button here, which is a key mapper button, so you can map your controls depending on what game you're playing. You've got your Android buttons on the bottom, so back, home, and menu. Over here, you can see there's actually a built-in camera. So that's a 5-megapixel camera built in case you want to take video calls or some Zoom calls. On the top, you've got trigger buttons, L1, L2. You've got a volume rocker and a power button, and you can see a vent at the top. And you might be able to hear there is a fan spinning. The fan is spinning right now. So the console does have a built-in cooling fan. Now at the bottom over here, you can see a microphone, headphone jack. That's a speaker grill right there, speaker grill. We've got a SIM card tray, and next to it, you can see a Type-C charging port. And there is your secondary speaker on the right. And we've got another vent just underneath the charger port. So you've got a vent at the bottom and at the top of the unit. And I will remove that SIM tray just to show you. So it's actually a hybrid SIM tray. You can have one SIM card and one microSD card up to 2 terabytes max. Now the mods are plug and play. All you do is remove this plastic cover on one side, and then you're simply slotting them in. So that's in, that is it, that is ready to use. It's up to you what type of game you use this for. If you press the key mapper button, I'll show you what that does. As you can see, it brings up all the buttons, and you can map this out on top of any game you like from the settings. So this attachment will give you 5 buttons. So red button, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on the top, you've got a number 5 button, which is a trigger button, and number 6 is another trigger button at the back. Now let's change the mod again. So you just simply pulling this off without breaking the table. Right, you'll also notice, let me put that back on. You'll also notice there's a nice grip on the side of that mod. So let's put this second mod on, which is the one that I'm most likely going to be using most of the time. You've got your A, B, X, Y, select start, and you've got your R1, R2, and a nice grip to match the other side. Again, key mapper. As soon as you put the attachment on, the software knows it, and you can see all the relevant buttons have appeared on screen. So key mapper is going to be very useful. Okay, so you've seen the hardware, you've seen the modifications. Now let's quickly go through the specs. So we've got a 6.81-inch LCD display with 388 pixels per inch, and that is a Full HD Plus display. This is powered by the Mediatek Helio G95 Octa-core clocked at 2.0 GHz. You've got the Mali G76, 6 gigs of LPDDR4 RAM, and 128 gigs of UFS 2.1 storage. Now this does support MicroSD Expansion, 2 terabytes max. You've got dual band Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth version 5. This is running Android 11 with GPD Metro UI on top. You've got dual 4G SIM support. There is a massive 7,000 mAh battery, which promises 12 hours of battery life. You've got dual speakers, and you've got a built-in cooling fan. Now the console itself is very nice in the hands. It doesn't feel too heavy. It's around 370 grams in weight, and it's 18mm thick. So easy and quite portable to just stick into your bag. 6.81-inch LCD display is quite nice, quite bright and sharp. You've got all your regular Android controls that you would expect to find. You can swipe up, you can see all the apps, and these are all the standard apps. Google Play Store is not included, so you're not going to get Google Play Store, but you can easily download all your apps from APK Pure. There is an arcade emulator there. You've got some sim tools, MX Player, Netflix is pre-installed, and you've got Disney Plus as well. Now let me just quickly check out the camera first of all. So there is a single camera on the front. There is no camera on the rear. So you can take pictures and videos. Don't expect too much from it. I'll take one shot of my camera. You can see there that looks pretty good. It's nothing special. It's just a camera, so you can take pictures and videos. Let's have a quick look at streaming first of all before we jump to gaming. So Netflix supports 540p streaming. If you jump to Disney Plus, you can see that Disney Plus supports HD streaming. And I will play something just to show you what this looks like. So that was HD streaming on Disney Plus, and as you guys saw, the streaming quality looked great. No buffering, no stuttering issues, but more importantly, the sound quality was great. So you got two bottom firing speakers. It's pretty loud and clear, so you are getting a good multimedia experience. There is no YouTube, so you can't download YouTube on this because there's no Play Store, but you can see I've made a shortcut for YouTube from the web browser. So that's mobile version of YouTube. So YouTube looks great, but you can't pinch to zoom with the YouTube browser version, unfortunately. So you do have the option to video stream from the web browser from any third-party site, including YouTube. So that's your streaming out the way. Let's jump to gaming. So I was able to download my games from APK Pure. There is no Play Store, but everything you need is there. So Call of Duty, you can see, is downloading. You can download PUBG Mobile. You can basically download all your favorite games, or you can sideload them as well. So you've got the options. So let's begin the gaming test. All right, so first of all, Call of Duty Mobile. I want to show you how you can configure the controls. So if you tap on controller settings, you will see that the controller is not connected, because you need a Bluetooth controller in order for this to work. This is not a Bluetooth controller, so you can't connect via Bluetooth, but what you can do is tap on controls, customize layout, make sure you choose advanced, and then press this button over here. You will see an overlay appear, and then you can basically move any button around and place it anywhere you like in order to activate various functions. So I've already got this set up, and so on and so forth. So let's close this, exit. Quickly check out graphics settings. Maximum graphics supported is very high, and the selectable frame rate is max.
We captured Charlie. Enemy in sight! Enemy down! Grenade, run! Captured. Enemy UAV spotted. Predator missile inbound. We're winning this one. Enemy in sight! Changing mag, cover me. Enemy contact. Enemy in sight. Capturing Alpha. Recon standing by. UAV recon standing by. Captured Alpha.
Alright, we are now checking out the graphics settings of PUBG Mobile. So let's see what the maximum graphics are. So HD are not available, and Ultra HD is not available. So HD is the maximum available graphics, and frame rate high. Now controls again needs to be configured. Press the button, and again very easy to configure. So that was Call of Duty and PUBG Mobile. I downloaded them from APK Pure, and as you saw, they worked absolutely fine and the controls are really comfortable. So now it's time for some emulation, and we're going to begin with Ester SX2. So we're playing SmackDown vs Raw 2011 on the PS2 using Ester SX2. Resolution is 1x native and we have Vulkan backend, and as you can see the game is struggling to play. So you're going to struggle to play PS2 games on this system.
Their rivalry is well documented for these two.
So now we're playing Tekken 6 using PPSSPP, rendering resolution 2x Vulkan. And as you can see the game plays absolutely fine. Now I want to turn that up to around 6x and see if we can still get a steady frame rate.
Round two.
Wow. Yeah, handles fine. Let's turn that up to the maximum now. 10x resolution, let's see if it handles it. .10x resolution is a little bit too much for this console. We're going to drop it down to 8x and see what happens. Here we go. So the sweet point to emulate PSP is 8x resolution Vulkan. Game looks and plays great. Sound is also perfect. So that was Tekken 6. If you play something a bit more graphically intense, you might have to drop it down to about 6x. But either way, PSP emulation is good on this console. So now we're playing No Mercy using M64 plus EZ. We have upscaled the resolution to 5x and the game looks and plays great. So next up we are checking out 3DS with Citra, and as you can see on the lowest settings it struggles. So you're not going to be able to play games through Citra on this console. So there you have it guys, that was the GPD XD handheld Android game console. Now I really like the display, it's bright and sharp with a full HD plus resolution. The Mediatek Helio G95 is not a beast in terms of performance, and to give you an idea of that performance, you can expect a benchmark score of around 325k. So you can play games like COD Mobile and PUBG on high graphics with no issues at all. The controls feel really good. They don't feel cheap at all. They are almost like console quality controls. The triggers and the movements feel really good. Now I really like how easy it is to map the controls by simply pressing one button. So that means these controls can be used on any game from the Play Store, even the games that don't support a controller. Now on the emulation side, as you saw, you're a bit limited. PSP games emulate perfect even when upscaled above 8x. However, PS2 games struggled even at native 1x. 3DS also struggled, so realistically you are looking at PSP and below should work fine. Now sound quality is actually surprisingly good. The dual speakers are nice and loud and no distortion throughout my tests. Cooling fan is fairly silent in operation. You can hear it slightly, but it's not disturbing at all, and it does keep the system running nice and cool. Now you are getting plenty of RAM and storage to begin with, but having MicroSD Expansion is a plus point, and you can add a 2TB card. Now other things to mention, you've got solid and stable Wi-Fi connection, Bluetooth version 5, Android 11 with GPD Metro UI is user-friendly and fast in operation. Now battery life is very good. The 7000 mAh will give you enough battery to last you around 7 to 8 hours of non-stop gaming. So decent battery life, and the console does give you an overall good and fun experience. Also a question that some of you might ask, can you take phone calls on this if you insert a SIM card? Well, the answer is no. I have inserted a SIM card, you can see the 4G symbol right there. So that gives me data on the go. But you can't take messages and you can't take phone calls on this, which I feel is a slight letdown because some people out there could have actually used this as a replacement phone. So that was my 2 pence on the GPD XP. Let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, I will leave the links in the description box for you guys to check out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.